Hi everyone. Today, we're going to explore and discuss the Fritz, Reiss, and Ackerman family tree, from the action-packed, dark fantasy, post-apocalyptic anime and manga, Attack on Titan. So let's dive right into it. Ymir Fritz, she was the first to ever possess the Titan powers. Once a slave to the Eldian king, she was forced to use her abilities to help Eldia rise, while causing suffering for Marley and the rest of the world. Despite her vast power, Ymir was bound by the king's control. 13 years after gaining these powers, she died protecting him. To preserve her abilities, the king ordered her daughters to consume her remains. This tragic act caused Ymir's power to fragment, eventually leading to the creation of the 9 Titans. Fritz, he was the monarch of Eldia approximately 2,000 years ago, who used Ymir to expand his empire and to destroy his enemies. He was a man most vividly defined by his insatiable ambition for power and control. Before his death, he instructed his daughters to continue reproducing and consuming each other, assuring Ymir's strength would never diminish and Eldia's rule over the Titans would stay forever. Together they had 3 daughters, their eldest daughter Maria, second daughter Rose, and third daughter Sheena. After their parents died, they were left with the heavy task of carrying on the Eldian legacy. Forced into a vicious cycle, they multiplied and consumed each other's bodies in order to keep Ymir's Titan powers active. Their lives were filled with tragedy and sacrifice, and each of their deaths was commemorated by the walls, Maria, Rose, and Sheena, that protected their people while also representing the end of their royal bloodline. After 2,000 years later of Fritz and Ymir's direct descendants, there was Karl Fritz. He was the 145th king of Eldia, and he was also responsible for the Eldian Empire's demise. After it collapsed, he relocated many of his people to Paradise Island, where he constructed the walls to protect them. He used the power of the founding Titan to obliterate most people's memories of the outside world, locking them in ignorance. In an effort to cut links with his past, he changed his surname from Fritz to Reiss, becoming the first king of the walls. He died in unknown circumstances, but it is believed that his death was part of a broader scheme to shape the destiny of his bloodline and the island. After many years later, there was an unknown descendant of Karl. He was also a former member of the Reiss family, who wielded the founding Titan and was one of the true kings of the walls. Although little is known about his personality, many of his actions appeared to be guided by the will of the first king. He ignored his children's requests to rid the earth of the Titans, even going so far as to lock up his son Rod for pushing the subject. He had 2 sons, the eldest son, Rod Reiss. He was the true king of the walls, who attempted to return the founding Titan that had been stolen to the Reiss family. In a desperate attempt to reclaim the founding Titan for his family, he transformed into a massive, mindless Titan. After licking a broken serum which was ruined by Historia, after turning into Titan, his oversized body dragged itself toward Orvud district, burning and unstable. After that, Eren launched an explosive into his mouth to weaken him, and then Levi's squad attacked his exposed body. In the end, Historia struck the final blow, putting an end to his monstrous form and his failed ambitions. And his youngest son, Uri Reiss. He was the true king of the walls, who inherited the founding Titan from his father and eventually entrusted both the power and the crown to his niece, Frida. After that, he was eventually restrained beneath the Reiss chapel, where his successor, Frida, tearfully injected herself with Titan serum. In front of their family, she morphed into a Titan and ate him to gain his power. Uri faced his final moments with a calm smile, handing her the Titan's abilities, inherited memories, and the first king's will. Rod Reiss was married to an unnamed woman. She was a kind and a loving wife. She was killed during the fall of Wall Maria when Grisha Yeager attacked the Reiss chapel while protecting her daughter, Florian. According to Rod, they both were killed, crushed beneath the Titan's foot in the attack. Together they had 5 children, their eldest daughter, Frida Reiss. She was known for her gentle and compassionate demeanor, as she frequently walked among and cared for the people within the walls. She became the true queen in 842 after inheriting from her uncle and held the founding Titan until 845, when she was defeated and eaten by Grisha Yeager, who inherited her abilities and memories. She later appeared in Eren and Historia's inherited memories. Their oldest son, Reiss. He watched his uncle Uri passing the founding titan to Frida. He stood motionless as she transformed and consumed Uri, along with the rest of the family, except Florian, who was not present. After the transformation, Erklin ran toward Frida to get her. Later during Grisha Yeager's attack, he was tragically crushed while reaching out to his father. Their youngest son, Dirk Reiss. He was also present during the ceremony where his sister ate their uncle. He was later killed by Grisha during the attack, where he crushed him with his hands. Their younger daughter, Abel Reiss. She also witnessed her sister transforming into Titan and eating their uncle. She was also killed by Grisha during the attack, where he crushed her with his hands, alongside her brother Dirk. Their youngest daughter, Florian Reiss. She wasn't present in the ceremony where her sister acquired the founding Titan. Later, she was killed by Grisha during the attack, where he crushed her alongside her mother. Alma. She was once a servant in Rod Reiss's household before becoming his lover. She lived quietly away from the royal family with her parents on a farm near Walshina, where she gave birth to Historia. Following the fall of Wal Maria, Kenny Ackerman executed Alma on royal orders. Their daughter, Historia Reiss. She is the present queen of the Walls and also the sole living member of the royal Reiss line. After her mother's death, she lived under the alias Christa Lenz and joined the military and demonstrated her strength and selflessness. Later, with Emir's assistance, she restored her actual identity and rose to power during the military revolution. Known for her calm courage and kindness, she became a beacon of hope for the people. Historia's husband is unnamed. He appeared in the attack on Titan manga, in the first chapter of the 27th volume and the 107th chapter. He was an old friend of Historia who helped at her orphanage. Together they have a child, whose name is also unnamed. She appeared in the attack on Titan manga, toward the tree on that hill, in the 5th and final chapter of the 34th volume and the 139th. She was seen as a baby in Historia's arms, living peacefully on a farm. Dina Fritz. She was a royal-blooded Eldian who ate Carla Yeager and a former Eldian restorationist. After being captured by Marley for her treasons against Marley, she was transformed into a mindless, abnormal Titan and transported to Paradise Island. Years later, when Eren went after her for his mother's death, she killed Hannes, who was protecting Eren. However, Eren inadvertently activated the founding Titan's power and led every surrounding Titans to attack and eat Dina, eventually killing her. Dina Fritz was married to Grisha Yeager. He was an Eldian doctor from the Liberia detention camp in Marley and a member of the Eldian restorationists. He was sent by the enigmatic informant Eren Kruger, also known as the Owl, to penetrate the walls and steal the founding Titan from the Reiss family. To complete this quest, he acquired the power of the Attack Titan. He started a new life within the walls after landing on Paradise Island, staying in Shiganshina district and discreetly researching Titan history. After the fall of Wal Maria, he confronted the Reiss family in their underground chapel, where he killed the majority of the family, leaving just Rod Reiss alive, and then devoured Frida Reiss to take the founding Titan. Later, he gave on both the attack and founding Titan powers to his son, Eren Yeager, by allowing himself to be consumed. This deed marked Grisha's death and ensured that his purpose would be carried out by his son. Dina and Grisha's son, Zeke Yeager. He was the former captain of Marley's warrior unit, who inherited the Beast Titan. He was regarded as Marley's most powerful fighter, and he was secretly attempting to carry out the euthanasia plan, which sought to terminate the Eldian bloodline. He used both Marley and Eldia to move his plan forward. In the final battle, he was killed by Levi Ackerman, who quickly decapitated him, effectively ending Zeke's life and halting his plan. Grisha's younger sister, Faye Yeager. She lived in the Liberia incarceration camp controlled by the Marleyans. She was kidnapped by 2 Marleyan officers while traveling outside the zone with Grisha. Her body was later discovered, having been mauled to death by dogs, an act that the authorities had covered up. Grisha was severely affected by her terrible death, which fueled his hatred for Marley and engagement in the Eldian restorationist organization. Grisha and Faye's mother, Mrs. Yeager, as an Eldian under Marleyan control, she was extremely cautious and obedient, pressing her children to strictly follow the repressive laws in order to avoid punishment. Her attitude was influenced by dread and the continual pressure of living under observation, which led to her being extremely severe at times. Despite her stern demeanor, she cherished her family. The terrible death of her daughter, Faye, at the hands of Marleyan officials impacted her profoundly. While she tried to keep the family together, the trauma shattered their relationships. Her son, Grisha's growing resentment of Marley and eventual involvement with the Eldian restorationists was something she feared but couldn't prevent. Although little is known about her eventual destiny, her life was distinguished by loss, silence, and the difficulties of living under oppression. And their father, Yeager, he was deeply submissive to the regime, as were many Eldians who lived under Marleyan control. After his daughter Faye was brutally murdered by Marleyan officers, he prevented his son Grisha from questioning the truth or pursuing justice, warning him about the consequences of resisting Marley. Though he appeared cold or passive, he was a man exhausted by fear and years of oppression. His stern approach reflected a survival instinct molded by a harsh and unfair world. Carla Yeager met Grisha Yeager after he helped cure a plague-stricken town. They fell in love, married, and settled in the Shiganshina district, where Carla worked as a waitress and devoted herself to raising their son, Aaron. During the fall of Wall Maria, the colossal Titan destroyed their home, leaving Carla trapped under debris. Though Hannes tried to save her, she urged him to rescue Aaron and Mikasa instead. Moments later, she was killed and eaten by the smiling Titan, later revealed to be Dina Fritz. Their son, Aaron Yeager, as a kid he aspired to travel beyond the walls. His life was forever changed when Titans invaded and killed his mother, instilling a deep hatred for Titans. Determined to fight back, Aaron enlisted in the military and joined the Survey Corps. Later, he found he held the power of the Attack Titan, which he received from his father, who had also passed down the power of the Founding Titan. As Aaron learned more about the world beyond the walls and the histories of Eldians and Marleyans, his aim turned from vengeance to liberation for his people. Believing that true freedom required wiping out the rest of humanity, he unleashed the rumbling, causing immense destruction. In the end, his best friend Mikasa Ackerman killed him to stop him and save everyone. After Mikasa lost her parents, Carla Yeager took her in and treated Mikasa with deep affection while she lived with the Yeager family. She welcomed her like her own daughter, showing the same love and care she gave to both Grisha and Aaron. She was calm, intelligent, and fiercely loyal, and she developed unrivaled combat abilities. She graduated at the top of the 104th Training Corps and joined the Survey Corps. Throughout the battle against the Titans, she fought valiantly in important engagements against the female, Beast, and Founding Titans. Her strong attachment with Aaron influenced her choices, and she remained committed to defending him to the end. Mikasa's father was a member of the Ackerman family, which is noted for its exceptional physical abilities and strong will. He led a tranquil life in the Wall Maria Highlands with his wife and daughter. Despite coming from a prominent heritage, he avoided politics and warfare. Tragically, he was murdered by human traffickers who targeted his wife because of her unique Asian origin. And her unnamed mother, she was the last known descendant of the Azumabito family who lived within the walls, an Eastern clan with distinct characteristics and ancestry. She lived quietly with her husband and daughter in a rural home near Wall Maria. Her distinguishing features made her a target for human traffickers. Tragically, she was slain in front of Mikasa during a kidnapping attempt, which prompted Mikasa to reactivate her Ackerman instincts after Aaron saved her. Kiyomi Azumabito, she is a Hizuru noble who has formed an alliance with Paradise Island. She has a personal interest in Mikasa because of her bloodline, and she supports Paradise for political and strategic reasons, offering technical and diplomatic assistance. Kiyomi Azumabito and Mikasa had an unnamed ancestor who had close relationships with Fritz family, and also he was the first one who allied with the Fritz family. The Ackerman family was a powerful warrior clan once loyal to the Eldian king. They are one of the few bloodlines immune to the Founding Titan's control and possess exceptional strength and instincts. Mikasa had an unnamed relative who told Kenny about his family's tragic history, including how they were previously persecuted by the royal family despite their allegiance. His statements had a profound impact on Kenny's perception of their past and mission. He had 2 grandchildren, his grandson, Kenny Ackerman. He was a feared serial killer known as Kenny the Ripper. and Levi's maternal uncle. He started out as an assassin before becoming the captain of the Military Police Brigade's Anti-Personnel Control Squad. Despite his violent temperament, Kenny possessed a complicated mentality and a strong desire for dominance. He raised Levi in his early years, but then abandoned him. Kenny died from injuries sustained during the combat in the cavern beneath the Reiss chapel, leaving behind a syringe of Titan serum that Levi eventually inherited. And his granddaughter, Ackerman. She worked as a prostitute in the underground city under the capital. Despite her tough living situations, Kushal adored her kid and did everything she could to provide him with the best life possible. Unfortunately, she died of an illness while Levi was still very young, forcing Kenny to take over Levi's upbringing for a while. Her son, Levi Ackerman, he is extremely devoted, disciplined, and respects human life. As captain of the Survey Corps, he is well known for his exceptional combat abilities, particularly while using ODM gear. Levi played important roles in critical fights, such as defeating the female Titan, fighting Kenny's group, and nearly killing the Beast Titan. Despite significant losses and personal grief, he remained humanity's most powerful soldier and a symbol of resilience. That was all in the Fritz, Reiss, and Ackerman family tree. Thanks for watching. See you all in next video. Till then, take care.